Hello, yes, Max people, welcome back to another Stories of Past Destinies video. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to replay it. Oh shit. Fortunately, I'm gonna have to replay this one story because I didn't record it. This is which pretty much we became evil. So we're gonna have to replay that story again. Because I didn't record. Fuck, I hate this.
The island was
I hate this.
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things.
Oh.
A stone that ate souls.
Yeah, I didn't say it, so I'm
A
gonna have to
ruby that
replay
drank
it again.
blood. A jewel
So yeah guys,
only a
follow me on
righteous
Twitter,
man could give
Instagram,
away. Were all these
and
things
Amino
the
app,
Iblis
link in
stone?
the description below. Go buy my
Long
book,
hidden in
Life
the very
Cinema with Sunshine and Rainbows.
Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now. Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals.
Got to get a better mic one day. So yeah guys, go buy my book, Life Cinema with Sunshine and Rainbows. It's a really good book. And yeah, I have to replay this mission again. Well, this story, they didn't say properly how I wanted it. And that pissed me off. Because, yeah. I just waiting, but holy shit, a fucking ending, bro. We became evil as fuck.
Ravens were already here, cawing in frustration. They were still searching for a way in. Good. And he hadn't come too late.
We know we can get. We can get strength to launch them. I already got that. We can get that one too. Fuck it, let's go for strength. Yeah, let's go for strength, guys.
Ooh, sparkly, thought Reynardo.
So yeah, I had to replay this part again, but I'm taking another path this time.
There had to be some way to use the Iblis stone. It was old, wasn't it? People are so much cleverer now. And Reynardo was pretty sure he was cleverer than most people. dress up as for Halloween? Just wondering.
It appears they have to replay this part. The whole story. If it didn't save. Yeah, we're just destroying them all at this point. It's not even funny. Poor ravens.
The ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders.
Can't believe I have to replay this part again. I mean, at least I know what the ending is, but that's just gonna be awesome.
You can't stand the heat, you thought? Stay out of the flamethrower.
Let's say flamethrower. I thought it was kitchen. God damn it. Stupid Michael.
It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up.
Oh boy.
Who said that? It was the stone. Eager, thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and he had a sneaking suspicion the gem would try to control him. Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. It's the core, said the stone anxiously. But even though Reynardo knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it. The stone bothered him. He hated being told what to do. Wasn't that why he joined the rebellion? Wasn't that why he'd refused to be a soldier? He'd agreed to come on board only if he could freelance. The stone felt a bit clingy, and he had a feeling it did not have his best interests at heart. The sage Calaveras had told him where to find the Sky Ripper, a weapon capable of challenging the gods. Even without its armature, the core would still possess great power. He would go there. The moment he landed the Farfarer, Reynardo had a rare feeling of regret. It's not too late, he thought. He could turn around and sail for Zenobia's island. He frowned. Wait a minute. He didn't want to kill Zenobia, did he? Sure, technically she was the enemy, but they'd been at Sword Food School together. They'd never been lovers, but somehow they'd been closer. She'd told him every secret about herself. Except the biggest one. That she was the Emperor's daughter. No. Kill Zenobia, whispered the stone. Before it's too late.
Holy shit, how many people I can kill right now?
The waterfall was spectacular. Well, you had to enjoy these things as they came. We pass this way but once. There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
That was close. Sorry that audio is low, guys, because the mic doesn't work
With each
anymore.
raven he cut down, he felt a jolt of power flowing into his arm. "You're weak," whispered the stone. "The core will kill you." "Are you afraid of it?" "No, don't be ridiculous," it chuckled. But it's unstable. It will poison you if so much as carry it, and if you try to use it, it will explode catastrophically. Reynardo did not trust rocks that talked in his head. He went onwards.
Oh shit. How much damage this does compared to the fire one?
As he approached the core, the stone became hysterical. "No, it's too much power. We'll rip a hole in space and time." He had a sudden vision of plunging his gauntlet into the core and dying in anguish. That wasn't his vision, was it? The stone had sent him its darkest fears, hadn't it? He had a sudden impulse to do exactly that. He raised his right fist and plunged it into the core.
Nice.
There was a rush of light. He thought he could hear the stone screaming. And then he passed out. When Reynardo came to, the core was gone. But the Iblis stone was no longer black, but glowing with a blue light. And it was silent. "I can't hear you," he sang out. And, "You?" It didn't answer. "Ha!" he said. He had defeated the demonic gem with the power of his mind. He felt invincible. It was time to attack the Imperial outpost on the Nexus. Take the battle to the enemy. But among the huge crystals, there was also an observatory. A wise man would probably ask the scientists exactly what he had first. How wise was he? As the Farfarer made its way toward the Nexus, Reynardo watched sparks fly out of the core. The Iblis stone sucked them in hungrily. You'd think the stone would want this kind of power, wouldn't it? Thought Reynardo. Well, the scientists would explain it all. This time, Reynardo was sure he'd figured out how to use the core safely.
Oh boy, it's going in two ways.
See? He'd trusted his gut, and it had worked out. That's what it meant to be a hero.
Oh boy,
the
it's gonna end
and the
well.
odd makers, and do what
It's
you
not.
knew was right, and have it turn out to be the right thing. No, he wasn't worried. Once he got to the observatory, the scientist toads could explain it. Then he could carry the war into the enemy's camp and destroy them all. Oh dear, he was getting a little bloodthirsty, wasn't he?
No, sure. Did I take a shortcut? There's still a spot. Yeah, sorry for the audio, guys. Fucking nice. It's still working. Pause that, guys. You just need to pause it and read it. Pause it if you want. How many people I'm killing right now? I'm telling you guys, this floor is far for the eyes, so it's my favorite floor.
Reynardo had never felt better in his life. Normally, a battle would wear him down and he would need a night's sleep. Now he felt like he could go all night and all day. He felt like people were cheering him on, and he could practically hear their applause as he slew one raven after another.
Yep.
The Iblis Stone and the Skyripper Core. Two artifacts from the time of legends. Reynardo was becoming a legendary hero, wasn't he? He had enough power to save the rebellion, but he had to understand this power, so he would not misuse it. If he was a weapons engineer, Reynardo would make the cannonballs go much faster. And fire randomly, obviously.
Damn it. Ah, fuck.
The toads at the observatory measured the stone with their occult devices. I fed it the core of Skyripper, explained Reynardo. No more feed Palan souls.
But the core is not an unlimited energy source,
said one toad. Another said,
there's a feedback loop, you see, which could overload the stone. Yeah, the stone doesn't actually feed on souls,
claimed a third.
but on pain of killing another sentient being. If you can truly be at peace with yourself, it would not overload.
Oh
This was
boy.
all very confusing. At peace? Yes, the mountains were peaceful and quiet, but he now had the power to turn the tides. He should report to the Rebellion Council and prepare for the decisive battle.
You see, guys, the first part I had recorded well. I had done that option now, but I had to do the bottom one now.
REYANARDO couldn't make sense of anything the Toad said, and
Because it
listening
didn't
to them
save
argue
or
made him
record.
restless. The Iblis Stone had made him a power in his own right. The core had kicked the Iblis Stone out of his head by filling it with more power than it could eat. It was time to meet the leadership of the rebellion. It was time to go to the ruins where they had hidden their secret base.
He was ready for anything the ravens could throw at him. His sword felt ready too. It seemed to know what he wanted most.
Silver for the eyesore. And then play your weapons of all time. Oh boy, guys, things are gonna get really ugly. I just have a feeling that we're about to go kamikaze kasika. Holy shit, what are you saying? That's the way, guys. We're about to go hum. All fucking asses.
The Iblis Stone wasn't pestering him anymore. Good. He didn't want to chit-chat, not with anybody. He didn't want to think about Zenobia or Lapino. He just wanted to fight.
I could get to the other
This was
sticker.
almost fun. Pain of killing another sentient being?
What was that Toad talking about anyway? He felt no pain, only pleasure as each filthy raven fell by his sword and the stone glowed brighter and brighter. All the while, those voices were cheering him on, like he was in the arena, winning bout after bout.
I cannot like this gun at all again. This is occurred the first time.
Say, how are you guys fixed for life insurance? Long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Oh boy. Oh my sweet boy, you're gonna be awesome. stupid thing worked fine. Fucking here.
He slew and slew across the ruins and into the labyrinth that hid the secret rebel base. He was surprised not to see any defenders or even any of the council toads. When he reached the council chambers, there were still no toads, only filthy ravens. "Stop him! He's gone mad!" one raven shouted until he had hacked them all down. There was not a single toad anywhere. No doubt they'd all been taken prisoner, so it was up to him to take revenge upon the Imperial fleet.
But where had they taken the council? It couldn't be good that the Empire had not only found the secret rebel base, but killed or captured everyone there. No matter. He was on a roll. He headed full speed towards the Imperial fleet. He would be the fox who took down 100 warships. He charged. The Imperial fleet was huge and deadly, but he was deadlier.
The crowd was cheering him on. He could practically hear it. "Reynardo, the hero of the rebellion."
Let's get this. That's good. Let's go here, so we can get more XP. Never mind, let's go to the shortcut.
The portal was heavily guarded. It must go someplace they really didn't want it to go.
Let's take the shortcut. I'm being trying to destroy everyone. Oh, nice.
Trust the raven further into thrower. But did Crystal Drop count?
As he slew his way across the fleet, Reynardo thought he could hear a small voice whispering in his ear.
"Look at your gauntlet, you idiot!" he said.
Nice.
"Oh, for heaven's sake," he thought. "Can't I be alone in my own head? Look at the stone." "I'm busy,"
boy.
he told the voice. "Talk later." "Then it will be too late," cried the voice. "Don't be so bloody thick. Piss off," he told the voice and kept up his slaying.
We're so gonna die. We're so gonna die, that's all I'm saying.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Again. This time, he'd make an end of him. He'd screwed up last time, but he had a good feeling about this time.
shit, we can destroy everyone. Every raven without mercy. Alright guys, evil time.
Reynardo cut down his elite guard. The exalted Toad
Oh
cowered
shit.
fearfully.
Sorry,
He'd
this
sought to
ending.
evade death and only made death come to him faster. Reynardo savored the moment. And then, too quick, it was over. He stood over the dead Emperor. Death to tyranny! He shouted.
Oh
Go,
shit.
house, go! Zenobia stepped out of the shadows. You have to stop, she said. You've killed everyone. Our ravens, your rebels. You murdered the whole rebel council.
Oh
What?
shit, yeah.
And the ravens killed the council. Yeah, big idiot. They don't even know what the secret base is. Shouted Lapino, who was with her for some reason. Look at the stone, said Zenobia. It was black as night. Blacker. But I fed it the core, said Reynardo. It was glowing. Well, who needs a core? He said, and he attacked.
Oh,
Zenobia
shit.
conjured her best. And Lapino hopped around like a mad rabbit. But he killed them both easily.
Wow.
I am unstoppable, he orated at the blood-soaked walls. I alone shall be emperor. The tiny voice inside him screamed. That doesn't even sound like you big fanny. The stone has stolen your mind.
Yep.
But he ignored it. Who listens to voices in their heads anyway? Madmen, that's who.
Oh shit. And that's how we get the story, guys. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, guys. See you next in the next part. And yeah.